Welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to dive into the world of a tiny, spiky marvel that's just packed with surprises, the African hedgehog. Seriously, these little guys are fascinating. Let's get right into it.
I mean, come on. A pincushion with legs? It sounds a bit silly, right? But it's actually the perfect way to describe them. That iconic, spiky look is what everyone knows. But believe me, there is so much more going on than just that pointy outside. So we're going to peel back all the layers of myth and mystery around this little animal. We'll look at everything: their amazing defenses, their crazy diet, some really bizarre habits, and even their surprising role throughout human history. Let's do this.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about defense. For a little creature that kind of waddles around, the hedgehog has this absolutely brilliant way of staying safe. It's like a tiny walking fortress. And get this. The number of spikes or quills on just one hedgehog is just incredible. We're talking somewhere between 5,000 and 7,000 of them covering an adult. That is a whole lot of reasons for a predator to just leave it alone. So what are these spikes anyway? Well, they're called quills and they're made of keratin. That's the same stuff in our own hair and fingernails. And hey, let's just bust a big myth right now. Hedgehogs cannot shoot their quills out. Nope. Forget what you've seen in cartoons. They're attached, just like your hair.
All right, now for their famous signature move, rolling into a ball. It's pure genius. So when a hedgehog senses danger, it flexes the super powerful circular muscle that goes all around its body. And that muscle acts just like a drawstring on a bag, pulling everything inward. Its head, its little legs, its tail, until, poof, it's just a solid ball of shark spikes. Talk about a perfect defense mechanism. And hey, here's another myth we need to bust thanks to a certain blue video game character. It's fun to picture them rolling away at high speed, right? But in reality, that defensive ball is totally stationary. It's not for getting away. It's a giant, spiky, do not touch sign for any predator that gets too close. And that toughness? It doesn't stop with their quills. It goes right into their diet. Now, you might look at this little guy and think, oh, it probably just eats berries and leaves, right? Well, you'd be really, really wrong. Hedgehogs are some seriously adventurous eaters. Just look at this menu. It's wild. Hedgehogs are total omnivores. They'll eat insects, snails, slugs, but also bird eggs, fungi, even small rodents, frogs, and lizards. They're what you call opportunistic feeders, which basically means if they can find it on their nightly walk, it's probably dinner. And just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, it does. Their diet gets even more extreme. Believe it or not, hedgehogs have this ridiculously high tolerance for toxins. This lets them eat things that would be a huge no-no for other animals, like scorpions and even small poisonous snakes. They are absolutely fearless. Okay, so we've got the spiky armor down and we've got the daredevil diet. Now, things are about to get a little weird. I'm not kidding. Hedgehogs have some truly strange and secret habits that have had scientists scratching their heads for a long, long time. So let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of self-anointing? Yeah, it's a real thing. And trust me, it looks just as strange as it sounds. This is one of the most bizarre behaviors you'll see. So here's what happens. A hedgehog comes across a new or really interesting smell. It starts to chew and makes all this frothy saliva, this foam, and then it twists its body into these crazy positions to spread that spit foam all over its quills. So why on earth would it do that? Honestly, we're not 100% sure. One theory is that it's masking its own scent from predators. Another is that it's creating a kind of toxic, irritating coating on its spikes. It's a real mystery. These guys are also masters of survival when it comes to extreme weather. They've got two main tricks up their sleeve. In cold places, they do what you'd expect. They hibernate to save energy during the winter. But in really hot, dry places, they do something called estivation. Think of it like hibernation, but for summer, a way to sleep through the worst of the heat and drought. For an animal that spends most of its time alone, they are surprisingly chatty. Think of this as your personal hedgehog to English dictionary. That grunting and snuffling sound, that's usually a happy hedgehog just looking for food. But if you hear chuffing, hissing, or clicking, yeah, that means something completely different is going on. All right, let's shift gears and talk about how a hedgehog gets its start in the world. The journey from a tiny, helpless baby to that self-sufficient, spiky fortress is, well, it's super fast and totally fascinating.
And first off, we have to talk about the name for a baby hedgehog. Ready for this? They're called hoglets. How cute is that? Hoglets? It's just the perfect name for these little guys. The way a hoglet grows up is unbelievably quick. They're born blind, and their quills are actually soft and hidden under a layer of skin, which is pretty thoughtful, for the mom during birth. But within just a day, those first little white quills pop out. A month later, their eyes open, and they're already out exploring with their mother. And get this, in just 6 to 13 weeks, they're completely independent and ready to go it alone. It's so fast. Okay, for our last section, let's zoom out a bit and look at the hedgehog's place in our world, in human culture. You see, this little animal has been capturing our imagination for centuries, and it has played some surprisingly different roles, depending on where and when you look. And, the way people have seen them is all over the map. In ancient Egypt, they were a positive symbol of rebirth, because they'd vanish for a while and then come back. But fast forward to medieval Britain, and oh boy, they had a terrible reputation. People thought they were thieves that stole milk from cows, or even that they were witches in disguise. Talk about a PR problem. So yeah, whether people saw them as a sacred protector or a sneaky little pest, the hedgehog's unique mix of traits, the spikes, the secretive habits, that surprising toughness, it's made them a creature of myth and legend all over the world. And really, that just leaves us with one final thought. The little hedgehog proves that even animals we think we know can be packed with the most amazing secrets. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other incredible things is the natural world hiding? Maybe right under our noses. Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.